Hi there, it's Amy, physical therapist and Pilates instructor. Today's workout will focus on improving pain and muscle imbalances that are caused by scoliosis. We'll strengthen the core, improve posture, and create more balance in the body. Let's start with some seated breath work. Sit up tall, prop up as needed, and bring your hands onto your low lateral ribs. Inhale, expand your ribs out into your hands, and exhale, passively let the air out. Inhale again into your hands and passive exhale. This time notice if one side of your rib cage expands more than the other. If so, try to direct a little more air and breath into that side of your ribs to create a little more balance in your rib cage. Let's introduce some movement to this breath. Arms out in front of you. On the inhale, pull your right elbow back and turn to the right. Exhale back to the center. Inhale, pull that left elbow back. Exhale to the center. One side will probably turn more easily than the other. And just notice that. Let's try to keep our sit bones heavy on the mat or our block. And find that rotation from the rib cage. Continue to breathe into the lower lateral rib cage, trying to direct more air, if possible, into the side that feels more restricted. Inhale, exhale back to the center. One more each side. And last, inhale left, exhale back to the center. We'll move on to some core work. I'm going to set my yoga block aside and find a seated position again. I will have my knees bent in order to be able to sit up taller. You can do what feels best for you. On the inhale, reach the arms up over your head, creating a lot of length in your spine. On your exhale, pull your low abs in, tilt your pelvis back, and roll back as far as you feel connected. Inhale, lift from your center, grow tall. And exhale, pull your navel in, curl your tailbone under, and roll back. Gaze down at your navel. Notice that your pelvis is aligned straight ahead. If there's any rotation one way or the other, or if one side hikes up more than the other. And just do your best to even out those imbalances. Exhale, curling your tailbone under. Inhale, lift from your pelvic floor muscles, grow taller up through the crown of your head. And exhale, engage your low abs to support you as you roll back into a C curve. And inhale, growing tall again. Exhale, roll back into a point where you can hold it. And then we'll challenge the core by lifting one arm up and one arm down and switching side to side. Inhale. And exhale, draw the low abs in deeper. Again, just looking down, see that your sit bones are even. Your pelvis is pointing straight ahead. Your ribs look pretty even. Try to adjust what you can. Breathe into that side of your ribs that was tighter. Inhale. Exhale, scoop in deeper. One more time. Arms come back even and use your low abs. Roll back up and lift up tall. Sit bones reaching down, crown of the head reaching up. This time we'll roll all the way down to the mat. So you can do that without your arms. If you need a little support, just take your hands onto your thighs. Roll all the way down. We'll find a neutral spine here. Feet on the mat, knees bent. And just again, you can notice with your hands, is your pelvis level? Do your ribs feel even on the mat? If not, see if you can use your breath to find a more balanced position. And then again, we'll reach the arms all the way overhead. You'll want to try to keep your ribs still even on the mat, heavy on the mat as you do this. And then on the exhale, draw your low abs in, curl up your head, neck, and shoulders without curling up your tailbone. Inhale, lower down, reach long. Exhale, curl up. But this time we'll hold it in that neutral spine. Float your right leg up to tabletop. Notice that your left side of your pelvis is still even on your mat. So your pelvis is still balanced, and we'll use our core to lower and lift that right leg. Inhale and exhale, lift from your deep abdominals. If your neck is getting tired here, you can put your hands behind your head for some support, or you're welcome just to put your head down on the mat and keep working through the lower abs. Inhale, exhale. Trying to lift more from your abdominals rather than just your thigh muscle. And last, lift up, set that right foot down, and lower your head down to the mat. Again, reach your arms over your head on your inhale, lengthen your spine. On your exhale, curl up head, neck, and shoulders, pulling your low abs in. Keeping the pelvis level, float the left leg up to tabletop. Tailbone is still heavy on the mat. Inhale, lower the left leg down. Exhale, float it back up. Using your low abs, hands again can come behind your head, or you can even lower down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, lifting from your core muscles, keeping that pelvis level, rib cage as even as possible on your mat. Inhale and exhale. Last two. Last lift up and lower everything back down to the mat. Let's open up the front of the hips with a bridge. So reach your arms long, press your heels down, press your hands down. And then on your exhale, you can initiate with that little pelvic tilt again and use your glutes to lift up into a bridge. From this bridge, you'll reach your arms all the way overhead. Keep your hands on the mat, and we want to lengthen the spine down, providing some traction in the spine. So first your sternum comes down, and then your rib cage, and then your lower back, and finally your tailbone, and then bring your arms straight back up to the ceiling. So providing this length and traction in your spine can help to even out some of your curves. So again, bridge up, reach the arms all the way over your head and looking for a traction, a stretch in your spine as evenly as possible. Roll down through the center of your spine until your hips are back on the mat. Bring the arms up, bridge up with your glutes. Stretch your arms overhead, traction, and lengthen your spine on the way down. Trying to keep your hips even. Do the right and left sides of your ribs touch at the same time. What about your low back and your pelvis? Let's go through two more times. Bridging up. Reach overhead. Stretch it down. Should feel like a really nice stretch for your back. This is one of my favorites for scoliosis. And one last slow roll down. Reach your hips towards your heels as far as you possibly can. And then bring your arms back up. We'll do a single leg bridging variation next, wanting to work the body unilaterally too, so the stronger side doesn't always take over. So bridging up the same way, this time let's float the right leg up to tabletop. You can bring your hands, lift your head to your hips, make sure that they're level. And then if they are, let's send that right leg straight out away from you and exhale, use your abs to pull back in. You should really be feeling a lot of work and energy in your left glute here to support your body. Inhale, exhale, low abs pull you in. Keep that good breath going into your lower lateral ribs. Two more. Last stretch. Bend it in. Set your right leg down. Really find that right glute activated to float your left leg up. Again, just checking in with your pelvis. It's level. You can give yourself a tactile cue with your hands here. Reach one leg straight. Use your abs. Pull it back in. Just noticing the difference from side to side. It's okay if it's different. We'll inhale. Exhale, pull that knee back in. Working from your core. You want to feel this is all ab work rather than a lot of work in your left thigh. Connect it to your breath. Every exhale will help you draw your low abs in a little bit more. We've got last stretch. Left foot down to the mat. Roll your spine evenly back down to your mat as well. And then we'll come up kneeling, turning to one side. I'm going to take the right leg out to the side and just take a moment to find your alignment here. You can bring your hands on your ribs, try to make them as even as possible. Your hands on your pelvis, trying to make it as even as possible. And then we'll take our hands behind the head for the exercise. You are going to reach out as far as you can to the left. I want you to notice that you're not compressing into this left side because that may cause pain, but it's more of a lengthening. And then you can lengthen even further by reaching your arms, hands back behind your head, and then you'll want to use your obliques to come back up. So lengthen over to the left. Reach from your deep abdominals, bend, and come back up. So you're going to feel your glutes, your inner thighs, your obliques, your lower abs. And just keep breathing through this as it feels right to you. Inhale. Exhale, reach from your center. Noticing that your ribs and pelvis are still aligned as best as possible. Last two. And last one. Back to the center. Switch your legs. And taking another moment, because your alignment could be totally different on this side. So ribs are even, pelvis is aligned straight ahead. And then take your hands behind your head and lengthen over to the right. Really taking note that you're not causing any compression on this right side, but you're getting longer on both sides of your body. Reach from your center, lengthen even more, bend, and come back up. Inhale, reach, exhale, back up. Inhale, exhale, use those obliques. Stay connected to your breath. And we have two more. Always wanting to work both sides of the body in scoliosis. You'll probably notice that one side is stronger than the other, but we want to create that balance the best that we possibly can. So next series, turning to your hands and knees. Just taking one cat-cow here, rounding your spine up to the ceiling, and then lengthening your spine back out, lifting your tailbone, lifting your chest. And last, round up into your madcap. And then just settling down into a neutral spine where your back is fairly flat. Let's send your right arm and left leg apart from each other. And just notice your position here. You really want your hips to be still pointing straight down to your mat. Just notice if your weight shifts a lot over to the right side. Try to keep your weight balanced in the center of your mat. Inhale, lift that arm and leg. Exhale, pull it back down with your abs. Inhale, exhale, abs, pull you back down. Reach long with that arm and leg rather than reaching high. You want to, again, create a lot of length in your body and really focus on the stability from your core. Last two. And last one. Just bring that right hand back down. And we've got some leg circles from this left hip. So using your glute, you're circling around only as big as you can without moving the rest of your body. So you should still feel a lot of abdominal work here. Reverse that circle. And you should even feel that work in your right glute too. You want that right hip to be supporting you here as you move your left leg around. And then finally bend that left knee back in. Just sit your hips back into a little child's pose to reset in the center. And then coming back up for the other side. Take that left arm and right leg away from each other on your mat. Just take a moment, those ribs pointing straight down, pelvis pointing straight down. Weight in the center of your mat. On your inhale, reach up. Exhale, use your abs to pull back down. Inhale, exhale. Reaching that longer, leg longer rather than higher. And just focusing on what's not moving in your body. Last lift. Put that left hand down, and we've got those circles of the right hip. Breathing in. Breathing out. Feeling a lot of core stability here. Reverse those circles. Notice that your body is still and stable as you move that right hip around. And then bring that right knee down. And then we've got one last motion here, another twist, just like we started. Take that left hand, reach it under your body to thread the needle, and then lift up, lift your chest up to the left. Exhale, reach under. Inhale, lengthen up. Keep this motion supported by your abs. You want to find most of your rotation here again through your mid-back while you're using your abs to stabilize the lower back and pelvis. Last one here. Left hand down, right hand threads under your body, and then lengthening your spine up to the right. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale, scoop your abs, reach under. Inhale. Last one, reach under your body. Big stretch up. And then both hands back down on the mat, toes together, knees apart. So take a child's pose here. Breathe in and out. And then walk both hands over to the right side of your mat or even off your mat. Notice that bigger stretch on the left side. Breathe into that a little bit. Inhale into the left side of your rib cage. Exhale, letting the air out. And then finally walking your hands over to the left side of your mat or even off of it. And feeling that length down the right side of your spine. Breathe into it. Inhale. Exhale. And then finally, last stretch in the center of your mat. Come up from there. You are finished. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.